Just to follow up on the point about salvation, is it faith or works? Or some kind of combination of the two. The problem is the word salvation. What do we mean by salvation? Do we mean being saved from the perspective that you're in a bad situation, someone comes along, takes you out of that situation, and now you're in a better situation? And if you look at the religious context, we've built up so much debt, which is sin, which is going against God. At some level, that's created consequences, and we can't pay that debt. So we need God to save us. Is that salvation coming from what we do in some way to prove that we are worth saving? Or is it based on our belief that we accept Jesus or God or whatever the Savior is? Is there something we have to do to earn that salvation, or do we get it by virtue of a belief and a true faith and a real acceptance of the Savior as the answer? But what all of this misses is the point that we're looking for something to save us rather than take responsibility for what we're creating. So when you look at it from that perspective, what are works? Works are the things that you do. And when you do something, that produces a consequence. For example, if I plant a garden and I put all the right amount of soil and fertilizer, etc., I do everything correctly, the consequence will be I'll get the vegetables or the fruit or the plants to grow. If I do those things incorrectly, the potential consequence is I don't get those results. Another example, if I feel angry and then I go and I punch somebody out of that anger, totally unjustifiably, like they weren't trying to hurt me, there was no reason to do that, then they might hurt me back. I might go to jail. There's going to be some consequence because I did something that has a consequence. In some cases, it's easy to predict what the consequence will be. In some cases, it's not easy. But when we generalize things and we say we're being saved by works, and then we look at works as just something we do, not for the result of it, which would then create a consequence, but as a way of proving something, well, then it's missing the point, isn't it? Because what you do has a consequence. You do something, and then you have a consequence that's created. A consequence is not necessarily a negative thing, it's just the outcome, including all of the side effects that come as a result of the thing that you are doing. The thing you are doing also is a result of what you are choosing at some level. So our free will, we use it to make a choice. We then choose to do something, or in some cases to allow something to occur. For example, if you look at the money system, it's not like we're choosing every day to do some action that makes the whole thing happen. We are choosing to do small actions, perhaps, maybe big actions, or we might just be choosing not to stop something from happening. We're allowing something to happen. You might feel powerless to do anything about it, but at some level, all of us collectively, our individual choices and actions, what we accept and allow have consequences. And those consequences are the things that we're looking for a savior to save us from. So the whole debate is actually quite silly and immature because you're looking for your works or your faith to prove something to earn the Savior coming and saving you from the consequence. But the consequences is something we chose to create. So why would the Savior save us from that? And even if he did save us from that, then when we go into a new reality, a different reality with a different context, are we going to repeat those things? Here's the point though. If you were just saved from it and you didn't have to change anything, then what was the point of being saved if you're just going to repeat it? I think the argument of real faith would come with you're doing things that would prevent the consequence from reoccurring. But, and here's really the point, if we all just stopped doing the things that were creating the consequence, and we just did what was best for all, would we even need a savior at all?